Hi guys, it's Alston. In this video, we are going to learn about best places to buy a domain name or what are the best domain registers available right now in the internet. Because it is a critical component, every website need a domain name and it's going to be staying part of your website. So it is vital to choose a domain register which have good price and also good in trustability and other services it offers. So I have created this guide to help you on that decision making process. First, how I am going to rank this domain register. It is based out of on my community's responses. What I mean by that, I run a small digital entrepreneurs community with over 4.5k members, and I ask the entrepreneurs who own website who use domain registers to rank their favorite, and I creating this guide based on that and also my personal experience. The official poll I ran got around 250 votes with different domain registers and different voting for different registration. I will leave the official link also in the description, so if you want to see the direct raw poll results, you can check out there also. So this list is based on my personal experience and also my community members experience or their favorite choices. And also I will list for each of this domain their highlights in their brief history, their services offered, what they are well known for, pros, cons, and if I have any personal experience with that particular domain register, I will share that experience also with this. And also I have made sure to make all the domain registers which I'm going to list out right now, it's ICANN accredited, which means it is a centralized body like a non-profit organization which regulates and give proper guidelines to all the domain registers. So you need to be making sure whenever you purchase a domain name that it is ICANN accredited to give a much more secure feeling for you and to make sure that it is a legit services and you have some extra assurance. So I have made sure that all the domain registers or services which I'm going to list are ICANN accredited as of now I'm recording this video. I will also leave a link for other guides which I've created regarding domain name, like what are the factors you need to look in before choosing a best domain register, or what are the most frequently asked questions in domain or domain name register, or how you can start, how you can purchase a domain name. So if you are interested in guides like that, it will be in the video description. Feel free to check it out. Okay, without further ado, let's now directly jump with the first rank. It is Namecheap. Well, it is established in 2000 and it's based out of Arizona, USA. It offers wide range of TLDs, different domain extensions, and they offer really well cost-effective prices. They also offer bulk discounts for bulk purchases. They have a great customer support via email and also 24/7 personalized live chat, and there is no upsell or hidden charges when registering a domain name. Everything is straightforward and you exactly know what you need and what you are going to pay for. There is no hidden techniques. There is nothing extra which they try to force you in a like a marketing or sales kind of way. Everything is straightforward, and also they offer free privacy protection, WhoisGuard, for every domain register you do if the domain extension support it, to protect your privacy. The UI is also very easy and very initiative, and it makes the domain management process very simple. And also they offer wide range of other services, and they are well known for their web hosting with a budget price, which is good for really good for just starting out or testing out or looking for a budget affordable solution. And also they offer email services through private emails, dedicated email services, DNS management, and lot more. So Namecheap is currently, as of now, my favorite and also my group community members favorite also. Personal experience, I have been using Namecheap for years to now. Like I have managed over 100 different domains using Namecheap. They provide really good discounts generally with registration, and their normal price itself very affordable. And during some special time like Black Friday or July 4th or some special occasion middle of the year anytime, they offer really good discount, really good deals, and also their customer service is really good. I have not emailed them, but I use their live chat, where usually I go into live chat, they provide a support pin, I give the support pin to confirm that I am the account holder, which will change automatically every time I contact the support. And they provide really easy help for me, and I have no negative experience so far as of with Namecheap. Still at this point I'm still using Namecheap, so this is one of the best domain register to consider. Now let's go to the next one, which is called Pokebun. It is a new domain registrar on the block, if I can say. It is a brand new solution where it was established in 2014 and based on Orion, USA. This also brings out some of the great prices for domain registration. For example, .com domains, these guys provide really great price, and also they don't have huge markup on domain prices. Not all the TLDs are available, but some since some are missing, but they provide really good pricing, and also they are kind of like a fun oriented or humor oriented company. You can see that from the domain name itself. If I say this domain name anywhere on the website or URL, I wouldn't think this is a domain register website. But trust me, I was skeptical too. I'm not sure whether can I trust this or not, but I have been using Pokebun and the experience so far has been really good, and they provide really great affordable pricing. They support a lot of TLDs extension, but still some are missing, so it's better to check it out. And also they offer free domain parking, and also as a Namecheap, they also provide free WhoisGuard or privacy protection for your domains if they support. They offer both live chat, knowledge base for customer support. They also offer other range of services like web hosting, email, SSL, all the different services are offered. Personal experience, as I mentioned, I have been using Pokebun recently a lot, because when I try to do a lot of research based on that, and finally I will choose my favorite register and will compare based on the final price or something like that. During that time recently, I have found out Pokebun still offer couple of dollars less for each domain when I registered through Pokebun compared to Namecheap. So it is not matured as other Namecheap, my other favorite register, but still it provides really unique experience. So far no negative for me. I'm using it currently over 20 different new registers which I did, not renewed or transferred or anything like that, brand new registration, and it works so far perfectly. So this is also worth considering. The third one is NameSilo. Established in 2010 and based on Arizona, USA, another low cost and best domain registrar available on the internet. They support over 150 different payment method for domain purchases, including crypto. They also provide free domain parking, DNS management, WHOIS privacy protection. They offer support in chat, email, phone during active hours, not 24/7. And also I do have personal experience with this also. This is something like, before even I got to know of Pokebun, I essentially like to spread my domain purchases, since I register a lot of domains, so I like to test it out different ones, different ways. So just to make sure that I get overall sense of it, I have used NameSilo personally also, and still using it for a couple of domains. So far there is no the service is really straightforward. There's no hidden charges. I really like the fact they also provide free WHOIS protection, because it should be a default for all the domain register in my view. So they provide that. Cost is also good. They have a clean, not super modern or super intuitive dashboard for domain management, but they do provide something really good which makes the process to manage this domain really effective. The fourth one is Cloudflare. This is something interesting. First, it's established in 2019 and based out of in California, USA. But Cloudflare is not your typical domain register. It is more of like a DNS management with CDN add-on services. That is their primary USP, and that is what they are well known for it. But recently they are started to offering domain registration service also. But just important fact, you can't register brand new domain registration through them, but you can only transfer any existing domain registered from a domain another domain register provided and transfer this domain to Cloudflare and keep on renewing it, all these things. So you can't register brand new domain through Cloudflare, only transfer and start using it. But the main point with Cloudflare is they sell the domain at cost price. They don't keep any markup, which means they don't put any profit aspect of it. They sell the domain prices at the cost which they are getting for it. So that is the unique selling point. But their drawback is that you can't register the domain name, just you have to transfer and start using it. They support over 200 plus top level domain names. And from my community members experience, they shared something that sometimes Cloudflare support is really slow. I don't have any personal experience with using Cloudflare for domains. I use Cloudflare for all of my domain DNS management, but I have not yet used Cloudflare for domain registration because I am happy with all the other domain registers I am using. So don't have any personal experience, but my most of my community members have used it, and the selling point for this, they don't offer any markup on their price. They sell it at cost, but you can't register, you can only transfer and use this. The next one is GoDaddy. This is an interesting one because this is something which I don't use anymore. I will explain when I show say my personal experience. First, it is one of the oldest domain registration where it is started established in 1996 and based out of on Arizona, USA, and also it's like a world's biggest domain register with over 20 plus million customers. I'm not talking about domain names they have, I'm just talking about the customers. They have 20 plus million plus customers, so you can just imagine the number of domains they manage. And also it is one of the most heavily advertised and marketed domain register. You will see GoDaddy ads pretty much anywhere from racing cars to billboards or YouTube ads, Google ads, any place you might see in a GoDaddy ad, because it's one of the most heavily advertised domain registration in my experience. And I noticed this, that domain prices are cheaper during the first year, but very expensive on the renewal when we compare with competitor. They offer crazy, sometimes like 90%, 95% discount on the first year, and from the second year the renewal price will be really higher even compared to their competitors. And also you need to be careful about hidden charges or upsells during purchases, because when you are trying to purchase a domain name through GoDaddy, you will end up with a lot of upsells or suggesting different features for you, different tips for extra additional services. If you are not sure on what you are doing, you might end up purchasing not only your domain name you want, but some extra services which you might not need also. So you just need to make sure that if you are purchasing something through GoDaddy, you know that it has a higher renewal price, and also you will be upsold a lot with different marketing services or domain related or hosting related services. They offer wide range of services. These guys are like have everything under their own house, like even from digital marketing services, website builder, SSL, web hosting, email, you pretty much have any services you want, it's inside GoDaddy. So they offer a lot of different services, and I personally like GoDaddy for their GoDaddy auctions portal, where it is one of my personal favorite, and I have used it a lot, where it's a platform or marketplace to both selling a domain in an auction format or just buying from a purchaser perspective. We can find all the different domains which are available for auctions. We can bid on it to find good names, or they will also keep separate records of deleted or just close out domain which we can purchase it immediately. These are really good. They have a lot of domain. They give the options to export all the names through Excel or CSV. We can do further analysis and can just bid on it or purchase whatever the domain name we are really interested. And they also have advanced capability when it comes to bidding with reserved amount, automatic bidding, all these stuffs are there. So for GoDaddy auction component, I really love that particular function. Support wise, you get a bigger community. The community, like they have a community based form. There's so much discussions happening there, tutorial, knowledge base, live chat, and phone support is also available. Everything is like, you will get like 24/7 live phone support, live chat, everything is there. Personal experience, yes, I have used GoDaddy, but at this moment I'm not using GoDaddy because when I got started on digital space, for me, I was not able to afford bigger price. Even the $10 when I got started in digital marketing was feeling like a bigger price for a domain name. And if I have like 10 different projects, then it's adding up to, if I just go through a normal domain register, it will add up to like $100 or $100 or something like that, just considering if a domain name is like $10. But when I went with GoDaddy, I used to find really good discount or coupon codes were just making the domains something like $1, $2, $3 for the first year. And it was always interesting for me because I can buy it very cheap, and it is a way of testing out my idea. But then I learned that they don't provide free voice guide like others, and also the renewal prices are much higher. And also I didn't like them like a marketing oriented, like promotion oriented. I didn't appreciate that experience personally, even though I liked some part of their services like auctions. Domain register, when I compared with something like Namecheap or Pokemon, NameSilo, all the other stuff, domain registers which I'm going to mention, I felt it was lacking on that compartment and decided it's not for me. So because of that, I still use GoDaddy only for GoDaddy auctions, where I buy domain, and once I purchase something, as soon as I'm able to transfer the domain, I transfer that to one of my other favorite domain register and start using it. So GoDaddy is the biggest and used to be my favorite when I got started, but now I'm no longer using it for domain registration or renewal. I'm just using GoDaddy for GoDaddy auctions. The next one is Dino. This is another domain registration register which established in 2002 and based out of California, USA. They have 3 million plus, sorry about the second plus, 3 million plus domains under their management. Domain prices are very transparent and easy to understand. There's no tricky upsells and everything, similar with Namecheap or Pokemon. Everything is straightforward, transparent for you. Support is provided by both live chat, knowledge base, and support tickets. They also offer something called grace deletions, where they will allow domain to be deleted within a time frame. For example, you register a domain name and you realize that, oh, I made a mistake, this is not for me. They offer some kind of service called grace deletion within a short period of time. If you decide if you want to return the domain, you can do with a small fee. You can check their terms, guidelines for that. I usually don't do this. I have never used this feature because I do a lot of research before choosing the domain name, but just know that this kind of features is also available on Dino. Personal experience, I have used it, and it's but once I got to used it, once I got started using Namecheap, Pokebun, all the other domain registers, slowly, even though the experience was good, the prices was not that great compared to some of my other favorite. But still, when I started checking out it, slowly I started to reduce my usage on this, and at this point, I don't have any domain under Dynodot, but it's not because of any cons on this domain register, but it's more like what other domain registers started to offer much better services and price. So that is the sixth one. And seventh one is something called name.com, where it's established at 2003. It is based out of on Colorado, USA, and the domain name itself, it's a great domain name domain name choice, right? Name.com. So these guys also have very transparent domain prices and easy to understand without no upsell, tricky upsell. Every domain register will have some kind of upsell when you are purchasing the domain name. What I don't like is to like tricky upsells, confusing beginners especially. I don't like that practices. They also have bulk domain purchases discount. They also offer this is important. They also charge extra for domain voice card, something like GoDaddy, where these guys don't provide free domain privacy option for your domain which you are choosing it. So that I don't like it. And offer cloud hosting through DigitalOcean along with other hosting solution. DigitalOcean is like a cloud space, computing space, which they can provide better services for your as a hosting. They do that along with other hosting solutions also. Support is through knowledge base, live chat, support tickets. I have personal experience. Yes, I have been using this from a long time, but I don't have majority of my domains and name. It's like just a couple of domains which I registered like in like 5 or 6 years ago, but still because of the price, it's not that great and it's not that expensive. So I'm just keeping on renewing it rather than moving out. I should probably do so, but as of services wise, there is no issues, everything works as it grace to be. But it's just another domain registration which is nothing too good or nothing too bad. It's okay domain registration, just you can compare and see with it. But I don't like that they charge extra for WhoisGuard. That's not something which I don't like. The next one is called Hostinger, which it's not a domain register service like Cloudflare, which we looked at, but it's a primarily a web hosting services. But they do offer domain registration service also, where they are established on 2004, based out of I'm not going to pronounce that. It's based out of Lithuania, and they have over 29 million plus users, and they are one of the reliable budget hosting solution out there. And also the most attractive with hosting is that they offer domain as part of their hosting packages. I'm not able to see whether that is good or not, because it happens based it should be checked based on the deal terms, what are the deal cost, whether it will make sense for me to go with their hosting policy or guidelines to purchase this domain, because I don't have any personal experience with this. But they are also providing such big services when it comes to domain registration and also hosting. I thought of mentioning that also, and I found that like 10 to 20 different community members also using this services. That's why I mentioned this. They offer free chat services, but they offer like a priority service, like an additional service which we need to pay, which I'm not fan of it, because I should if chat should be available for all in a priority way. We should not be paying something extra to get the basic chat, at least in my opinion. So I don't like that. They don't have all the TLDs, but they do have quite common or popular TLDs like .com, .net, .org and other stuff. Personally, I don't have any experience with Hostinger. I just tested hosting a bit, but that's also not worth commenting. to see that I've been using it for a long time. But from domain registration point or anything like that, I don't have any personal experience with this, but I found my community members have been using it for a while and they provided positive feedback for it. The ninth one is Google domain, where I don't need to explain this domain register because it is from Google, the search engine, where they have started offering domain registration services to you. It got launched on 2014 by Google as a side project. They offer services such as domain registration, DNSSEC, email forwarding, all the stuff. And also it is not also a marketing oriented service because Google does not really need marketing for that. Everyone knows Google. This domain register service is like they have so much different services which they are offering for their customers, enterprise businesses and everything. Domain registration is one such services. They don't give you sales pitches, upsells, marketing stuff, too much advertisement, nothing like that. It is a minimalistic, clean interface which you can, if you want, you can purchase domain registration directly via them and manage that. They also offer free OS protection for all their domains. Not the cheapest. When I compared domain registration with the other stuff, these guys are not focused on giving the best price for the user. I generally find some other domain registers like Namecheap or Pokemon is always, when I look it from the individual domain price point of view, it was always bit lower compared to that. So it's not the cheapest, but you get the reliability because it is coming from Google also. It also have one-click configuration that connects with your domain with Blogger, Google Sites, Squarespace, Wix, Weebly, Shopify. Every domain register is able to do that with the DNS management, name service and everything. But they also provide some additional way with one-click configuration to do that. Personal experience, no, I don't use Google domains, even though the stability and trustability is really high with Google. I tend to stay with some of other domain registration which has been my favorite and I have listed it at the top. And so far I have not used Google domains and probably I will not use Google domain in the future also because I'm happy with the other domain registrars. The next one is something called Internet BS, where it is also established in 2003 and based on Bahamas, something different from other domain registrations. This is also one of the most trusted domain registration and affordable services. Internet they offer domain registration, reseller plan for your domain registration, voice privacy, DNS hosting, email hosting. The interface is the critical point if I had to say. For example, when I use the Internet BS domain register, it feels outdated. It's not the modern or not even up to the capability of something like Pokemon visually. I'm not talking about functionality. Every function you can do within Internet BS, but I'm just talking about the way we feel when we use the domain control panel. Support is available through either email or live chat. Personal experience, definitely yes. I'm not using this in the recent years, but that's also not because of the fault of this, but just I found better services in other domain register. But when I was using this in early years, when I was just getting started with that, I used to register a lot and so far no complaint at all. Support was easy to answer my questions. The platform feels really easy when registering domain and managing the domain. They provide all the necessary functions and everything. So another good register where you can check it out. The next one is called Namebrite. It is established in 2003 and based down in Colorado, USA. One of the another cheapest domain register, and they sell some domain extension at the cost price also. They offer discount for bulk domain purchases. They can manage up to 500,000 domains in one single account, which shows that their stability. And they give the user interface feels really outdated, just like the Internet BS, where they offer the domain register. It's very usable, all the functionalities there, but the visual, if you prefer something more visual, I don't prefer that too much often, because only once in a while I log into my domain register to do something. But if you want to feel like modern or something like that, then you will feel that user interface bit outdated. They also offer API solutions to build software based on them. They have 24/7 support through both live chat or email. Personal experience, yes, and I'm still using Namebright with some of my domains. So far, everything works at good it is, and sometimes I have issues with bit delay in live chat, but so far other than that, all the other services are part of this services is really good. I generally will check this register also before buying something. So Namebright is a good option. The next one is Bluehost. It's similar to Cloudflare and Hostinger, where it is not a typical domain registrar, and it's basically a web hosting service which offer domain registration service. It is established on 2003 and based out of Utah, USA. It is like one of the biggest affordable hosting solution services on the internet. They also offer similar to Hostinger, like a free domain based on the plan. Please make sure to check whatever the terms, limits, or whether it makes sense for you to get that hosting plan to get this free domain, because I don't have any experience with it. So just make sure that but there is a free domain option available. This is one of the biggest hosting company with largest customer base, not cheapest when registering domain share if you're just looking to buy a domain name without the hosting. But and also they don't support a lot of TLDs. They charge extra for voice protection. Support is available through live chat and phone. There are complaints. This is from our community members that regarding their hosting services stability, and also stability means a speed point of view, and also support that it's kind of slow or not providing accurate, sorry, not providing much helpful or technical support issues. So those complaints are still there. Personal experience, I don't have any experience of using their domain registration services or hosting for a long time or something like that, so I would not be able to recommend this to you, but this is mentioned on our poll also. So Bluehost we looked at, and 13 is called Uniregistry, where it's established in 2012, a new player, and acquired by GoDaddy in 2020. It was a startup, and then later GoDaddy acquired that. Not the cheapest, but the prices are reasonable. Offer discount for bulk domain purchases. Charges extra for domain voice protection. They provide support through both online chat and phone call. Personal experience, yes, I do have it, and I used it before 2020, and just even when I was creating this guide, I went there to check it out, and everything was really simple. Even though it is owned by GoDaddy, they didn't make huge changes to their interface. Everything looks same. You will file something, so this is not my favorite or something like that, but when I used this services, it's really worked really good. I used this to buy some .us domain. I found the prices really good at that time during Uniregistry, so it is also worth checking. But if you don't like GoDaddy or something like that, just know that it is also be acquired by GoDaddy also. The 14th one, it's completely a new solution for me. It is called Epic. I researched on it since one of our members recommended it, and I did check it, and I saw all the reviews and customer experience also really good, so I thought worth pointing out this also in the guide. It is established on 2009, based out of on Washington, USA. A minimalistic domain registration. I found this is much similar to Pokebun, the interface feel when I go through the shopping experience and everything. A minimalistic register which offer both domain name and also web hosting services. I really like the fact they offer the free voice protection for the domain. Largest domain name leasing provider. Support is available through email, phone, and chat. personal experience, no, because recently only I got know of it. Maybe in future when I was registering a new domain, I'll try to see whether this actually is good solution for me or not. So just wanted to mention that. So those are the 14 different domain registration services which we got to know of based on our community post and also my personal experience. Maybe this will change in future, but this is my personal one. I personally nowadays use most of the time Namecheap, Pokebun, or name silo, internet bs sometimes, all this stuff, but I generally tend to stay with Namecheap and Pokemon. I really hope this video was useful. If you are interested in other domain videos like popular questions on domain name, domain registers, or how to register a domain name, or what are the factors to look for when you are choosing domain register, please make sure to check the links on the video description because I have covered that also. Once again, thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a great day. Cheers.